where yet, but probably somewhere on YouTube or something like that. But anyways, welcome to our live demo event. We're going to be sharing a little bit about with you guys on what we've been working on when it comes to our automated follow-ups. So just a couple housekeeping rules here. Chat, I would love to see you guys ask questions, engage with us. There is that chat button on the left. Now, if you're on mobile, it might be a little bit different, but there's something called nearby chat. And I haven't seen anybody chat there yet. But again, throw something in there so I know you guys can actually use the chat. And just let us know where you're joining us from. Where in the world are you joining us from? Okay. Other housekeeping rule. If you wanted to message somebody else, you can direct message them. And if you want to head off and chat privately, there are rooms in the back where it's spatial audio, meaning if you go to one of those rooms, only you guys can hear each other. You guys can't hear us, and we won't hear you guys. So you have sort of a private setting. Okay, it's on it's closer to the entrance. It's not the couches on the side, but there are rooms at the bottom. So if you kind of scroll down here, you can head off there and you know, if you guys want to chat about a certain thing, or you know somebody posted about a certain thing, you want to ask them more about it, you can either message them or go into those rooms. Main chat does not work. Okay. Well, good to know. I guess guests cannot chat, I guess. Let's see here. What if we go to Pebble stage and you guys chat here? All right. Well, if main state, that's weird. Oh, I guess you could direct message me. You can just click on a person.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Pebble stage works.
Ah, Pebble stage. Okay, sorry about that. We can chat on Pebble stage. There we go. We're still getting used to this. All right. Well, let's jump into things here. I'm going to pull up my slides here, and thanks for sharing with us where you guys are all joining us from. So keep doing that while I pull up my screen here. We were saying we got to figure out how do we get music onto here. Okay, you guys should be able to see my screen. It might show up as a little pop-up, but you can always enter full screen. Those of you guys that are on mobile, I think it's just Lauren here that is on mobile. I think it just shows up as full screen on your side. Again, this is our automated follow-ups live demo here today. We're really excited to announce this. Actually, Kevin, if I'm not mistaken, some of this it's already live for our users, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, we'll just sort of go through the formalities. My name is Jesse here. I'm one of the co-founders here at Pebble. I'm up here in Vancouver, Canada. I focus on all things sort of growth related to Pebble. And I'll pass it over to Kevin.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Good to see some of your faces again. I'm also co-founder and head of product here at Pebble.
Hey everyone, my name's Andrea. I am excited to see some familiar faces and names here with us today. I am on the customer success team at Pebble, and I live in Kelowna, BC, pretty close to Jesse.
Awesome. All right. Cool. All right, so today the promise is we're going to go through and share with you guys a little bit about what we've been working on. This is our first version of this. I'll have Kevin talk a little bit more about that, about automated follow-ups. And we're going to hopefully have a little bit of Q&A. This is just going to be a 25, 30-minute type of thing. And so it's going to be pretty quick here. But yeah, we'll open up the floor and we'll sort of have an open discussion. We'd love to understand your guys' needs as well. And as you know, Pebble always continues to grow. If you aren't able to keep up with some of these live things, right, you can always find all this on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube or Instagram, I try to share a bit on there as well. That's Pebble REI, so you can find us on there as well, okay? All right, so, oh, my slide order is totally, okay. What we're going to do today, we're going to go through and understand the workflow here. We're going to talk about the different channels of follow-up inside of Pebble and what we have planned, okay? We're going to talk a little bit about future developments with it. This is, again, our first version of this. And we'll try to take some Q&A at the end, okay? So before we even start with that, I just want to explain to you why, what got us here to this feature. So our main goal here with Pebble is to streamline and simplify land investing, right? So that is our main goal. And we see follow-ups and automated follow-ups part of that. The landscape of land has changed quite a bit from when I started, from when Kevin started several years ago. We're now needing to do things like follow-ups and a lot more follow-ups, right? So there's an increase of competition. We do want to take advantage of strategies like this to close more deals, right? Using automations to close and get more deals. And also, we finally now have the infrastructure. When Pebble first, and Kevin was just talking about this on with the team the other day, when we first launched, and some of you guys might have been with us since the beginning, Pebble has gone through a lot from since day one. I think, Kevin, day one when Pebble launched, it was you could view your properties and you could get mailing out, right?
That was pretty much it. I was joking that we're gonna like go back in time one day, and maybe we'll do this like as a live stream or something. But to pick up what Pebble looked like 2 or 3 years ago, and Jesse's right. It was just a list of properties and a mailing campaign, and that was it. There was no deals, there were no inboxes, there were no lead management. Like all of that stuff didn't exist. So we've come quite a long way.
So now we sort of have the infrastructure in place, right? So we spent a lot of time last year working on our contacts. We got in our patient system, our messaging, our text messaging, all that kind of stuff is now in place, and we can finally approach this. And that doesn't mean, the other things that we've launched, like contacts and messaging, like we're continuing to improve those things. And you guys have been very, very helpful letting us know what areas we need to improve on. And so those things will continue to mold and take shape. And we're going to continue to iterate on that as well. So I want to make sure you guys understand that. And Pebble is always continuing to evolve. Okay. So again, these are the things that got us here and why we're. Now that we've talked about that, let's kind of go through this. And I'll let sort of Kevin take over the screen here and share screen with us.
Yeah, here we go.
And by the way, a bunch of you guys are huddled up at the front. If you're not full screened with that, you wouldn't be able to see my screen. So use your little arrow keys, move up to the front of the stage there, and you can hang out with us closer to the front of the stage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'll walk through sort of the workflow here for automated follow-up. So like Jesse mentioned, we've been building this feature really for the past almost year. We know that this was a common request that we've got since day one, right? We've had mailing, we've had property management, but what we really wanted was to close that loop to be able to have all of our communication and automations right within Pebble so that we could do as much of our daily duties right within one interface, have everything in one place. And that's what we're really trying to do with these automated follow-up plans. So let's just talk through what those mean. So when I get a lead in, and this could be a seller lead who I've maybe sent a mailer out to, or I've done a text messaging campaign, and I get that lead in, right? Typically, that lead, I might have an initial phone conversation with them or an initial touch point, but we want to have a follow-up system in place. And preferably, we want one that I don't have to think about. So if this is a seller lead that maybe is I think I'm ready to move forward with, and I just need to have those constant communications go out, I can enroll this lead in what we're calling a follow-up plan. And a follow-up plan is just like it sounds. It's a plan to follow up. So I want to be able to send this person an email. Say send them an email tomorrow. Maybe follow up with a text message on day 2. Follow up with another email on day 4. And those emails can be very targeted. Those text messages can be very targeted and say, I've got I can have different plans for different types of leads, whether they're a hot lead or a warm lead or a cold lead. I can have follow-up plans that go over a long period of time. Maybe I'm just trying to nurture this person and reach out maybe every month or so to see if they're ready to move forward. And this is on both the acquisition and disposition side. So as I get buyers in, I want to be able to follow up with them as well. So what you will see when you log into Pebble today on your left-hand sidebar is this new link called Follow-Up Plans. So if you click on there, yours will be. Go ahead, Jesse. Yeah.
I'm just going to cut in here. Now, this isn't going to be available for everybody. So if you're on the growth and scale plan, this is the automated part. So I just want to make sure you're clear. Some of you guys that are on the starter plan, you don't have access to this functionality. So if you'd like to have a chat with Tracy on here or Andrea or and let them know. So by the way, Kevin, do you want to switch over to your microphone? I believe you're a little bit quiet and a little bit echoey on your end.
A little bit echoey. Let me.
That's your camera, yeah. I believe you're on the wrong one. I'm not sure.
How does that sound?
Oh, that sounds way better, yeah.
Okay, great. Sorry about that, guys. Bluetooth and microphones always a problem. Okay, so yeah, now that you can hear me clearly, so you will see if you're on the growth or scale plan, you'll see the new auto follow-up plans over in your sidebar. You can click that, and you will see our interface where we can create our plans. So I have a few plans in here. And we'll just go through and review one of these. So this is my hot seller lead plan. So this is, I made an initial contact with someone. Maybe they reached out, filled out a form on my website, and now I want to reach out to them. So I have these plan steps. So in this one, I have 3 steps, day 3, day 5, and day 7, where I'm sending them a text message, an email, and then another email. And I can step through this plan to see what those messages are. And again, these can be anything you want. You can fill out text messages. We have emails, and we'll talk a little bit more later about what we're going to be adding next. But I can go through and I can fill out these emails, templated text messages of these follow-ups that we're going to send out automatically to these sellers as they come in. All right. So as I've gone through here and I've filled out my my templates for my emails and text messages, I'm just going to review the plan, make sure everything is set. I can set those steps to go out at any time in the day. Maybe I want to hit that person right at their lunch break. I can send that email to go out right at noon. Maybe I want to catch them right before they're going to bed. I could send that out at 8 p.m. So I can customize when those things go out during the days. All right, I'll click save. So what I've done here is I have created a plan. So a plan is just the steps that I'm going to do to send those messages out. And now we need to enroll somebody in this plan. So typically what will happen is as a lead comes in, I'm typically going to create a deal for that lead. So I'll go over to my deal board. In this case, we'll talk about from the seller board, but this would work equally well on the buyer board as well. So I've got this lead here. We'll just pull up this Ann Rupert deal. So this is Ann. She's coming to sell me her property, and I've captured her email and phone number. Maybe I got that on my initial when she filled out her form, or maybe I typed that in as I was as I was conversing with her. And now I want to enroll this in my hot seller lead follow-up plan. So underneath this contact, we'll see follow-up plans. I can click enroll here. And we have the option of selecting which plan we want. We get a summary of all the steps in those plans. And again, you can create as many of these plans as you want. You can add as many steps to those plans as you want. So I'll just select my hot seller lead, click review the plan. And what this is going to do is let me customize each individual message and each individual email specifically for Anne. So let's say that like I talked to Anne and she said, her dog's sick. I can go in here and say, hey, hope your dog is feeling better. Just checking if you have thought about my offer. So I can sort of customize things as I enroll these to really target that specific person. All right, I go next step, and now I've got my day 5 email. This is just asking if they've reviewed my offer that I sent. I click next, and this is sort of my offer expires in 24 hours. Don't miss your chance to get cash for your property now. So again, you can fill these out as much as you want. Anything that you can do with emails, you can put images in there. You can do attachments. Anything you want to do there. Click next. This is going to review my plan for Anne, showing when those emails will go out. And now I'll click yes, schedule that email or schedule that plan. And now I've taken to all of my enrolled plans. So here we have Anne, the plan name, the start date and end date. And then as this goes out, so on day 3, if I come back in here, I'll see that my plan progress has been advanced. And I'll be able to see that email or that initial text message going out and those follow-up emails. And as the plan completes, when all those steps are done, I can come back in here and see that the plan has completed. I can at any time go in and delete this plan. So that will just stop sending anything. And this is really important. If Anne ever replies to me, so let's say that she replies to a text message that I send, or she replies to an email that I sent, that plan is automatically going to be paused. So anytime that Anne responds to me, I want to kick off a new conversation, and I may not want those follow-up messages to go out. So as soon as Anne responds, we pause the plan, and then I can come in here and reactivate the plan, or I can create a new plan, maybe enroll her again, that sort of thing. So that is sort of the overview of follow-up plans and what we have going on here. So I'll pass it back to Jesse, and then we can continue on here.
Hey, I know some of you guys are having some issues here. I got a message here as well. I saw that pop in, and I'm sort of keeping focused here. But yeah, if you're having troubles, you may want to move up and forward in order to be able to watch this. But you should be able to see it from the entrance. So hopefully you guys got to see that and you full screened it when Kevin was kind of going through that.
Cool. And I just want to be clear too that we'll have documentation for all of this. We have that on our knowledge base, and we will make sure that everyone gets that available. So this will also be published. You can come back and watch this at any point in the future.
Yeah, so all of you guys should have access to this. And I think in order for you guys to really get acquainted with this, I think like for most of you guys probably think, okay, I just need to play with this darn thing. So take some time this week, explore this feature. Again, this is just our version 1 to kind of kick this off. Now, I don't know if I have a slide for this, but Kevin, why don't we talk a little bit before we take Q&A here? Why don't we share a little bit about what we are working on currently right now, because this has been testing for a little while, and there's new versions or updates that we're going to be pushing out for this as well.
Yes. So a few things that we're working on as we speak are adding mailing to your follow-up plans. So this is because Pebble is such a great mailing system. We're going to work mailing right into these follow-up plans. So imagine that I could send out, say, like a automatic stepped offer. So let's say on day 1, I mail them an offer of, say, $10,000 for your property. Then on day 30, if I haven't gotten a response from that person, I go and I send a $11,000 offer. And on day 90, I send a $12,000 offer. You see, I'm trying to like entice them by giving them a little bit more money if I don't get an initial response. So we can actually do that right from, or we will be able to do that right from within these follow-up plans. So whether that's postcards, mailings, contracts, any sort of thing that you want to mail physically to that person, you can work that just like you would an email or a text message, enroll them in that follow-up plan, and be able to send those out.
I don't know if you guys
yeah.
caught that. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off, Kevin, right? You're going
Mhm.
to be able to now, well, not right now, but we're launching this shortly here or soon, is that you're going to be able to even follow with physical mail with increased offers on its own. You don't
Mhm.
need to do that on your own. That'll just happen and you can schedule them. For example, you want to like, Kevin, you correct me if I'm wrong, but you're going to be able to say, hey, increase this by 10% on the
Mhm.
offer price that you have already. 6 months down the road, 12 months down the road, that'll all happen on its own. You just enroll them and let that run. So some
Mhm.
really exciting stuff with physical mail follow-up as well. So the 3 channels that we're looking at are texting, emailing, jumped out of my mind, and physical mail, right? A postcard, letter, whatever it is. Okay.
Mhm. Another thing that we're working on currently is adding placeholders. So we know that this is a major thing that everybody is going to want. So being able to say hi and have Anne be a placeholder that automatically fills out her first name in my text message, so I don't have to type that in manually when I'm enrolling Anne in that plan. So placeholders are being worked on right now, similar to how we have placeholders in mailings. We'll be able to have those same sets of placeholders right within text messages and within our email templates. So great, great way to do some further automation there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I am going to jump into, because you guys are already throwing a lot of questions there, and I want to jump into that with the remaining time that we have left here. So I'm going to head right into the question and start answering these things with Kevin here and Andrea. So we have Kushal. Kushal, good to hear from you. What email address will this go out from, and how can we ensure that it will not end up in spam?
Yes. So, Kushal, I don't know if you're using the current inbox feature within Pebble, but what we do is we basically connect to your regular email account. So whether you're using G Suite through Gmail, or you're using Microsoft Exchange, or wherever you're hosting your current email, we can connect to that right from within Pebble. So you connect your email inbox in Pebble, and then when you enroll somebody in a plan, that's going to go straight through your inbox, so or your connected email account. So if you are able to send emails from your Gmail account and those land in somebody's inboxes, it will be no different. We're just automating that process for you. So that should eliminate any spam issues there.
Now, I mean, that doesn't completely eliminate spam, right? So depending on your email and what you send out, that's something to pay attention to.
Mhm.
And the things that you're sending out there, if you're continuing to spam, well, you're going to get caught in some of those filters.
Mhm.
So it's good to have some good practices with your email, and we're not going to sort of dictate how you do that. And the email is still going through your email provider. So yeah. Hope that answered that question. Jody asks here, can we still schedule a follow-up text if we're currently using OpenPhone as our provider? Um, so I want to be very clear about this. There is no sort of tie-in with any other phone application.
Mhm.
When a carrier owns a phone line, they own that, right? And if you've got a phone line with Pebble, well, you have control over, we have control over it, right? So if it's with OpenPhone, you're not going to be able to text out of OpenPhone automatically if that's what you're asking. Okay. I don't know if that's exactly what you're asking, but I think that's what you're trying to ask. Can we schedule a follow-up text if we're currently using OpenPhone as provider? You can still schedule up a follow-up through Pebble using your Pebble phone number. That's not a problem as long as their contacts exist. You can, but the only thing is, right, Jody, you're answering questions. Sorry, you're communicating from your OpenPhone line and then your Pebble line. Now you can maybe let them know, hey, this is my personal number, and explain why you have two numbers. That might be a way you want to go about it. Okay. Ray asks here, and thank you for the question, Jody. There's always a lot of questions about OpenPhone, so great one. Can we upload a custom PDF of mailers we design, or are we limited to a Pebble template? So, yes and no. You are not you are not limited to a Pebble template. You can edit, you can create your own. In fact, I've got a video inside of our knowledge base. Andrea, if you don't mind whipping up out Glory, throwing in the chat there under Ray's response there. My wife likes using Canva. She's a nail artist and she does all these promotions. I used Canva and whipped up my own design and brought it into Pebble. Now, what you're asking, can you upload a custom PDF? No, you're not able to upload a PDF and just say, hey, print this. Although what you could do is save that as an image and put that as a background. That's exactly what I did with Canva. I don't want to get into I don't know, Kevin, do you want to get into the technicals of why we can't upload a PDF? I mean, it's sort of an HTML-based thing, and our printers are sort of looking for that.
Yeah. So, yeah, without getting into the technical weeds, So basically, the Pebble templates are what generate our mailing. So you just have to go into that editor and make that work there. And we have some, like Jesse said, some articles about how to help you do that. And we can point you in the right direction if you're looking to do something that's a little bit more custom.
Hey, Ray, and a hint here for you. If you don't want to spend time editing your own thing, and I highly suggest you not to, we've got somebody on Upwork, and a lot of people who know how to use a text editor can easily whip up something for you. In fact, I'll get hopefully Tracy is here. She'll drop in a reply to a contact of ours, JR. He's, sometimes I just give him a design. He just whips it up on there for us. And so it should be the way that you go about it. I would not, if you've got a design already, just give it to him and he can do that for you, or give it to somebody who can sort of design something up in an HTML or text editor like Pebbles. Okay. Mm-hmm. Allison, you've got a lot of questions here. How do you parameterize outbound message?
Yep. So we're working on that right now. That is, we call those placeholders, and yes, we are working on those now. So you will be able to use placeholders for the contact, the property, etc. There soon. Can you check response conditions? I accept, reject your last offer.
That goes in line with the first question. It's kind of the same idea of using placeholders. So just building in conditional logic to say, last offer accepted, yes, no, okay, then send them this mail or send them this message as opposed to message A or message B.
I think what you'll likely want to do is have separate follow-up plans for those. So as you get an offer accepted, you enroll them in plan 1. If you get that offer rejected, you'd enroll them in plan 2. I think that would be the best way to handle that. Yep.
Okay.
Do you get a report if you have got landline number instead of cell?
So you thought you had a cell number, it was the landline, the text didn't go through. Can you default? Do you know when the text fails? And can you build in error handling logic to say, all right, now their text fails, so send them an email instead?
You will see if a text fails. You will get a notification if that happens. We don't have any conditional logic to say what to do after that, but you will be notified if a text fails. Yes.
Okay.
And is there a way to get confirmed read receipts on the fly? Currently, we don't have read receipts on text messages or emails, but we have heard that before, and we will be implementing at some point. No timeline on that yet, but we will be working on that at some point. And can we use Zapier to send outbound messages from email and voice? So
Can you send outbound messages from this channel?
the Zapier, you can certainly plug in Zapier to do things based off of your email. Like if messages go out, you can do things with Zapier. There's a lot of complexities there, and without diving, unless we're looking at a specific, like your specific use case was exactly like how your thing is set up, I don't want to give like broad advice on Zapier just because it is extremely complicated. But yes, there are things that you can do with Zapier.
Do you need a webhook, or is it natively offered out of the box as a web service through Zapier?
We
To
have a
send it.
Zapier. We have a Zapier integration. Nothing specifically for hooking into Zapier for specific messages and things
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
But that's probably going to be something that we'll look to adding in the future.
Okay. So we can't use Zap right now to send out a text message using this channel, right? So there's no way to initiate a Zap from Pebble through Zapier, correct? We'd have to use
You
open
can.
phone instead. You
It
can.
depends
Okay.
on where you're talking about. Now, in the follow-up area, no, but there's certain places that you can on the property record, on stages. Those can trigger automatically and run zaps, and people do that. So you can definitely check that out.
And they can send a text message. That's great. Do you guys have somebody you could refer me to on Fiverr or Upwork or something who can
No,
help me get that set
unfortunately,
up?
no. I think there should be a ton of people who should be able to know how to build a zap. If it's just zap, and we've got articles inside of our knowledge base to hopefully give them some guidance on that. It shouldn't be too complicated though.
I've got Zap set up already. I did them myself. But my question is using a Zap to send a text message or an email. Basically what you guys have just released right now.
No.
That's a no. Got it. Okay.
But you can do the email or text messaging. We shouldn't need Zapier to do that, right?
No.
It can just do it through your email or directly without the Zap.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to keep moving forward here because we got a lot, and we got to end this in about. I've got to jump on another call here, but we'll spend another 5 minutes answering questions quickly here. When will this mailing follow-up feature be released? Kevin.
Soon.
Love it. Tim, thanks for the questions. Can you do an automation follow-up on a stage level?
Oh, like automatically enrolling somebody at when we move into a stage? Not yet. We will likely be doing that. However, we have to be careful because if you forget or you have a VA that doesn't maybe know that you're automatically sending text messages and emails when something gets moved over, that could potentially open up you to mistakenly sending people text messages and emails that you may not have wanted to. So we need to make sure that we verify that you actually want to do that before. We don't want to do that behind the scenes and not tell you. So there's some complexities there that we just need to think through before we do that. But yes, we will likely be doing that in the future.
How do you know when you get a response? Are you notified?
Yes, any responses will go to your Pebble inbox. So you'll see a notification there, and you'll be able to see those they'll just show up in your inbox as a new message.
And like Kevin said, when that happens, it will pause that action plan that you've sort of enrolled that contact into, because you don't want to continue to just send them automated messages. You want to interrupt that. Okay, I'm going to keep going here. Will there be dashboard reports showing number of active action plans? Not at this point in time right now, Tim. Okay, Jody.
Justice, sorry, I need clarification on that first one. So if we have a stage in Pebble that has, let's say, 20 leads in there, and I want to apply automation to all of those sellers that are cold leads that have been sitting there for 6 months, but I have a broad automation, are you guys telling me we cannot do that?
You can do it, but you'll just have to go through each one of those. And this is as of today. This will likely change in the future, but as of today, you'll just have to, when you move into that stage, you'll have to go into that deal, enroll that person in the action plan. And again, that's just to make sure that we're not firing off text messages and emails
Gotcha.
that we may not want to. So
I want to
Okay, so
stress again, this is our first version of this coming out. And there are certain things that once we get this in place, like Kevin said, we have to think about how do we avoid some of those mistakes. We've got a lot of, for example, mistakes even with mailing. And it's so much easier to make mistakes with texting. And we've talked about this quite a bit internally with texting and email, and that's even easier. So these are the kind of things that we have to think through. But sorry, go ahead, Tim.
no, I guess my thing is because the reason I asked that first question is you guys already kind of have it today, right? If you move a lead off the stage, you can just already apply automatic automation, which is perfect. So that's what I'm thinking, because we typically have a stage where we have like everyone in this stage, we need them to be followed up with every 3 days. So it doesn't need to be individual. We can just drop it in there and we just know the system is working on our behalf. So that's where this is coming from. So you're saying
Yeah.
that's obviously, I know it's in the future, but you guys understanding what I'm asking, correct?
totally.
This is we've been talking about this quite a bit, actually, Tim.
Okay.
So
We get the use case. We just have to, again, we have to figure out a way to be thoughtful about it and careful about anything. Anytime we're automatically sending text messages, we just need to make sure that that's intentional. So yeah, we'll definitely be doing that.
awesome. Following up my question earlier, are there automations for seller inbox leads and the email address associated with? Many of us have different email addresses for buyer deals. So
it will work equally. Just like you saw for me going through that seller lead, same thing will work on the buyer lead. You can create your buyer follow-up plans, go into your buyer's board, enroll those leads in your buyer follow-up plans. Those messages will come back into your buyer inbox. So it should work regardless of what side of the business you're doing it on.
So I'll answer this anyways because I got to answer. Does Pebble work with standard Gmail? Yes, it does. So you can send through Gmail. Can you send ringless voicemails? No. I'm very clear about this, that Pebble is not a outbound marketing tool. So if you want to drop ringless voicemails or RVMs, you're going to have to look for a tool that actually does that. I won't get into that area, but I will just leave it at that. If that's what you decide you want to do, that's something you're going to have to look, externally for a tool. Pebble is a business process tool, and marketing things like that. Other than mail, we are not currently exploring. All right, question. I'm going to take this as the last question here, and share with you one more thing here before you guys leave. I realized that I could lead to problems to use a common seller inbox. As soon as someone from my team clicks text, email, call, it will get marked as read. My team consists of multiple people, and it has already happened that we missed information when someone clicked a notification. Do you plan to change that?
So if a inbox item comes in, and somebody on your team clicks on that inbox item, it will mark it as read. Yes, and then that will be marked as read for all other team members. So the way that it works currently is that is a shared inbox. So anybody on your team can go in there and mark things as read, can delete, can reply, can do all of those things.
My suggestion for this is, if that's the case, ask that team member to mark it as unread for now. You can mark things as unread, and it's a little bit of a manual work, but if again, it is a shared inbox. So we're assuming that somebody has viewed that and is taking it, maybe it's the acquisition manager or somebody on your team that is going through that. If they're not taking care of it, it then needs to be part of your process to mark that as unread, at least for now. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us for our live demo. We're certainly going to be launching a lot more and working on this. Again, I do want to stress, this is our first version of this. I do want to share one more thing with you guys. You guys might know that I've been running a challenge called the Dirt Hacker Challenge. Now, this happens next week. Oh my gosh, I wrote March. I meant February. This is embarrassing. But it's going to be February 5th. If you want to join me, this is a 5-day challenge. I made this as no-brainer as possible. It's a $5 challenge. I announced today that Travis King will be joining us for this as well. He's going to be talking about his due diligence framework, his process with due diligence as well. We're going to be talking about how to automate, systemize, hire for a business. It has nothing to do with using Pebble. Okay, nothing to do with using Pebble. It's all to do with getting a blueprint in place to attempt to put your business on autopilot. So join me on this is dirthackerchallenge.com. We've also got a book that we're going to be offering you guys as well, which is pretty cool. So check it out. That'll start next week on the Monday. And like I said, we've got Travis joining us as a guest speaker, and we're going to have another guest speaker surprise as well. We're going to announce that over the weekend. It's $5. So I look forward to seeing you guys there as well. Other than that, Kevin, Andrea, thank you so much for being here and helping out. Tracy as well. If you guys have any other questions, you guys know where to reach us. But thanks again, guys. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.